Hello friends, in this video we will talk about why addressing mental health during quarantine is so important. I was shaken by the recent suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput and many people asked me how to tackle this challenge that the society is facing currently. So I thought I will make a video on it. I am Seema Gupta, Professor of Digital Marketing at IIM Bangalore. We are all going through tough, unprecedented times as we fight this massive COVID 19 outbreak. Now, we must remember, friends, that coronavirus is not the only pandemic we are suffering from. We are also battling the pandemic of depression. Now, this depression is emerging as an effect of COVID 19 lockdown in India as well as the world. The physical and economic impacts are visible, but psychological impact is just as devastating. Historically, too, mental health issues come to the forefront during a disaster. Now, right after the Chernobyl disaster, suicide rates went up by 100%. Now, how is COVID 19 lockdown responsible for the major mental health crisis? You may wonder. As a preventive measure to avoid the community spread of corona in India, a nationwide lockdown was announced on 24th March 2020 and which was extended in 4 phases until 31st May. Now, although the lockdown has ended and it's time for Unlock 1, we must draw our attention towards the dangerous side effect unlocked by the lockdown, that is depression. Now, according to a research conducted by Indian Psychiatry Society, it was found that there was 20% rise in mental illness cases just within a week of lockdown in India. It means that at least 1 in 5 individuals is suffering from depression during the quarantine. Now, this information is based on the knowledge of the cases that were reported. Considering the stigma and the slur surrounding mental health and depression in India, it is heart shattering to imagine the number of cases that go unnoticed. Now, let us see what are some of the causes of depression during COVID. Number one is economic instability. COVID struck India at a time when the country was already in a state of economic slowdown, and the lockdown has severely disrupted the Indian economy. According to Ministry of Statistics, India's growth rate went down to 3.1% for the fiscal year 2020. From migrant labor to private sector employees, almost all the professions are vulnerable to economic instability and having no idea for where your next meal would come from. So it is tough to maintain composure. Second is unemployment. As a byproduct of economic slowdown, even giants like Swiggy, Uber, Ola, Oyo, or Make My Trip and Zomato, they had to lay off huge chunks of their workforce. Consequently, thousands of employees had no option but to be left jobless. With no job and no source of earning, it is natural to feel depressed. Another reason is migrant troubles. The nationwide lockdown proved to be a curse for the migrant workers who face trouble in moving back to their native states. Thousands of migrant workers were desperate to walk to their hometowns to meet their families. This situation caused a wave of depression for the building blocks of our society. It feels to be a blessing to be able to afford a shelter as we see the distress of our migrant workers stranded in extreme conditions. You must have heard the inspiring tale of Jyoti Kumari, who was left with no option but to cycle to a home from Gurugram for more than 1200 kilometers. There are still 1,000 cases where our laborers had to walk barefoot. Now, when the government authorities failed to arrange transport facilities for migrant workers, many organizations came forward for help. Bollywood actor Sonu Sood proved to be a messiah with Ghar Bhejo campaign, wherein he arranged for 1,000 workers to be sent from Mumbai back to their natives. But this migrant crisis definitely led to depression amongst lot of people. Another reason has been uncertainty. So while colleges and schools have been shut, Indian youth is vulnerable to uncertainty regarding their future. Final year college students, PhD scholars, they are the worst hit with no explicit knowledge of what to do next. On 28th April, a PhD scholar from Mechanical Engineering Department of IIT Kharagpur committed suicide just because he got stuck in the campus due to corona lockdown. Think about all the students who prepared for JEE and NEET for more than 2 years and now have to wait for exam dates with constant pressure and expectations building up. Do they have what it takes to cope up? The question arises. Students all over the country are being forced to take online exams and Viva despite limited resources at their disposal. This is a serious issue for their mental well being, considering the situation of crisis they already are going through. Another cause is addiction and domestic violence. Lockdown proved to be a severely stressful situation for individuals addicted to alcohol, smoking, and various kinds of substance abuse due to complete unavailability, causing them to slide under infinite loop of depression. It also led to domestic violence, which further became yet another cause of depression. Social isolation is another aspect. Social relationships are a fundamental part of human lives. It's one thing that separates humans from other species is our ability to form tribes and function in groups. Now the sudden need for social distancing due to lockdown leaves us vulnerable to isolation and loneliness, which is further proven to cause anxiety and depression. Now that it is clear how COVID lockdown is responsible for a potential wave of depression, here are some common symptoms of depression. Depression, as we know, is the feeling of sadness, loss, or anger, which takes a toll on the performance of most basic of daily activities. But we often do not realize that depression is also an illness. Sometimes it's even worse than being ill because there's no specific reason or cure for depression. And what makes it worse is the stigma around it. Now, some of the most hazardous effects of depression, just to give you a bigger picture, is physical effects. So, you may have headache, stomachache, chronic pain, nausea, weight loss, or fatigue effects are there like dizziness, insomnia, loss of concentration. Even emotional effects like eating disorder, raging outburst, feelings of guilt, loss of interest and negative thoughts, feeling of worthlessness or low self-esteem, or even suicidal thoughts or attempts or even plans. Now these symptoms may be neglected in earlier stages, but as depression gets more severe, even the most mundane task can become overwhelming. So if you're suffering from more than 5 of these effects, please consider reaching out for help. A group of researchers has recently revealed that 338 deaths have occurred due to suicide within the period of 19th March to 2nd May due to loneliness, fear of contracting the virus, migration issues, withdrawal symptoms, financial distress, and starvation. Anyone can suffer from depression. Often we assume that our problems are the only reason for depression. But depression has no apparent physical, biological, or financial reason, and anyone can go through it. Even the ones you think are rich and successful are equally likely to suffer from depression. And here are some well known examples of well accomplished personalities who have gone through mental health problems. Deepika Padukone revealed that she was suffering from depression while shooting for her blockbuster movie Happy New Year. And now here are some of the lessons to learn from Deepika and her triumph over depression. So even when she was surrounded by a lot of people around her, she was depressed. Behind that magnetic smile, nobody could tell what she was going through until she opened up about her condition. She witnessed a close friend committing suicide and felt the immediate need to seek help and talk to inspire the youth and demystify the myths surrounding mental health. Her battle led her to become the founder of the Live, Laugh, Love Foundation to spread awareness around mental health and find comfort by connecting to professional help. Sushant Singh Rajput. Now it has not been long since I've heard the shocking news of sudden demise of Sushant Singh Rajput. He was a famous TV and Bollywood actor who scored All India Rank 7 in AIEEE exam. In the recent updates, police disclosed that Sushant Singh Rajput had committed suicide by hanging himself in his Bandra home. Being pushed into this endless spiral of worries, the actor decided to take this drastic step. And his suicide created a massive wave of teens mourning and grieving about the talented actor who left us too soon. As per Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide latest update, the police revealed after investigation that Sushant was clinically diagnosed with depression and was actively seeking counseling. However, he was not on medication. Since no suicide note was found around his body, the matter needs to be further investigated. But this doesn't change the fact that we lost a gem to depression. It is rather uncanny to know that Sushant Singh Rajput's ex-manager Disha Salian also committed suicide just 4 days prior to Sushant's suicide. However, the police have assured that the two cases are not related. Now, some of the lessons that we can learn from this incident are: number one, as soon as this tragic news went viral, pictures of his body went viral on social media. Now, we must remember that circulation of such pictures is not only illegal but also inhumane. I've seen people having conversation like the actor had nothing to be sad about and had no reason to be depressed. Now, this stigma about mental health needs to be broken. Instead of blaming and accusing people of the cause of one's anxiety, we must collectively strive to spread awareness about mental health. So be mindful while sharing news, as some words can be sensitive to someone going through a rough patch, and it can act like a trigger word. Use trigger warnings as it may save lives. It feels tremendously difficult to share one's anxieties when one is depressed, so please reach out to your loved ones. Also, if you think someone is going through the same, make them feel heard. Depression is also an illness, so you can't just expect it to go away. So, if not treated the right way, it may lead to terrifying consequences. So, to conquer depression, connect with peers. Now, it may feel a bit overwhelming, but reaching out to your loved ones works wonders in easing the pain of depression. Look out for one person that you trust the most and try to open up. You'll be surprised to know we all go through tough times. You can also adopt a pet, as they are proven to spread joy, and that is precisely what you need. Do things that you enjoy. Try to distract yourself with the things you enjoy, such as reading books, or cook your favorite dish, or play sports, or do exercise, hang out with friends, or relax with a spa, or meditate. Realize that motivation is a byproduct of your effort, and the more you put your energy, the more dopamine will be released in your body, making you feel happy. Join support groups. Although you might feel like skipping this part, but trust me, friends, nobody is likely to understand you more than the ones who have been in similar situations before. Connect and relate to people, because connecting and relating to people is much more comfortable. You can even plan collective bonding sessions and exercises to alleviate one another. You can share whatever works for you, thus helping your peers. It becomes a collective mission to conquer depression. Connect with nature. Nature is the most potent healer, and there's a reason our ancestors were a strong tribe. So, to connect with nature, go for a brisk morning walk, as it's a great way to start your day. Get out and enjoy the sunlight. Take some time off and start gardening. Take your pets for long walks. Eat healthily. Your diet is directly proportional to how you feel. Never skip your meals. Even if you don't feel like eating, try to eat anyways. Keep a check on your nutrition. Consume more protein, more vitamin-rich foods. Include fruits and vegetables in your diet. Seek professional help. If nothing above works for you, friends, seek professional help. I know this is a big step. Thus, I encourage you to take your time. Just remember that depression is like any other illness that needs treatment, and being ignorant is just like trying to run with broken legs. Now there are a lot of helplines and numbers which are available on internet which will help you battle against depression. So it is time now, friends, to shatter myths about mental health and embrace self-care. Spreading awareness about mental health and depression is the need of the hour. If you could relate to this video, I hope it helps you with your well-being. If you know anyone who could benefit from my video, please feel free to share without a second thought. If you feel symptoms and need my assistance, feel free to respond in the comments below. I'll be eager and glad to help. Stay strong, stay blessed. Thank you for watching.